I'm Ethan, I love muzzleloading, and today I think we are unboxing probably the most complicated muzzleloader I have ever touched. This is CVA's new smokeless rated Endura. Full disclosure, CVA did send me this Endura to review and test. As always, I asked that I only get sent a review model if I'm allowed to post my real world results and my honest opinions about it. CVA agreed, and here we are. CVA sent me the long range Hunter model, so we've got the black stock here. And this is what you see when you open up the box. And this does ship in an outer carton with more padding, if you're concerned about that. Inside the box here, we have the Endura manual, which is going to be really important for some of the safety specs that they're pushing with these. And we have a Blackhorn 209 manual. Still super hard to find, still super expensive. And that's part of the reason that CVA has gone to rating this for smokeless. Also here in the box, we've got a pack of Powerbelt ELR 45 caliber projectiles here. They only send one in the box. There's a look at the Endura Long Range Hunter for you. The Endura Long Range Hunter is a 45 caliber long range muzzleloader with a 1 in 22 twist rate. Features a 26-inch fluted threaded Bergara barrel rated for Blackhorn 209 at the time of recording, 2 smokeless powders, IMR 4198 and N120. The muzzle thread is 3/4 by 20, matching CVA's latest muzzle brake. The Long Range Hunter weighs in at 10.75 pounds. Let's pull this out of the box here so we can talk about it some more before we get to some of the other goodies. Bolt here comes in a separate bag. Our mag release here on the side to drop that in. The Endura is built on what CVA calls a rigid adjustable long range chassis. And back here at the action, they've got an integrated mini chassis inside the stock here for extra strength and durability. This does add some weight to this model in particular. The stock is finished in a black tungsten web, and the hardware is finished with a nitride tungsten Cerakote. On the stock here, we've got adjustable spacers and 3 sling swivel studs, so we can attach a sling here and have a bipod attached without any fuss. At the rear here, we've also got QD attachment points on either side. The trigger on the Long Range Hunter is a CVA premium adjustable trigger with 2 to 4 pounds of adjustment. The Endura Pro uses a Trigger Tech trigger. On the top here, the Endura accepts a Remington 700 short action scope base, and in here, our breech plug is tungsten lined to withstand higher burn rates and pressures. What's really neat about that is this is a detail from the competitive long-range muzzleloading space, making its way into mass manufacturing. For years in muzzleloading, your breech plug or your touch hole liner or your drum, depending on what kind of muzzleloader you're using, is essentially a wear part. One of the last things is this action or bolt primer seating deal here. CVA has developed a magnetic bolt face to better hold the Veriflame primer adapter before and after firing, presumably making it a little bit easier to not drop the primer as you're trying to fiddle it in there. CVA likes this aspect so much they've actually got a pending patent on it. That being said, we're still using CVA's Veriflame large rifle primer adapter so that we can use a large rifle primer in this to get a faster, hotter ignition. What else do you say about it? I mean, it's got a cool factor. I'm really interested in the muzzle brake for this. CVA just designed a new muzzle brake for this, and I'm interested in trying that out. Muzzle brakes on these premium end of muzzleloaders continue to be more and more popular here for the muzzleloading hunter space. Down underneath here, we have a little primer storage area. I really like the look and the texture of the stock. The stock is comfortable. The stock has some nice adjustment here. Turn this, we can adjust our cheek rest. Quickly tighten it back down. It's not something you're going to be riding a whole lot, and these spacers are easily adjustable. We've got more of a vertical pistol grip here on this stock like we're seeing in many contemporary long-range stock systems out there. CVA has been very upfront about the safety precautions with the launch of a smokeless rated muzzleloader. They've got 2 smokeless powders this is rated for, and they don't want any divergence from that. Along with that, they say this is to only be used with 1 projectile. It's the only projectile they've tested to be safe with this muzzleloader, and that's the Powerbelt ELR 45 caliber. I think it's good we do a trigger test here just to see what it's like. Bolt open, bolt closed. We can adjust our thumb safety selector there. Ooh. Not that you'd be cycling it that fast with a muzzleloader. Okay. As it ships, it's got a little weight, but I really like it. I'm not feeling any creep in that trigger assembly. When it breaks, it just breaks, and I think that's wonderful. It has a premium feel, and I think that undertones this entire thing. It feels premium, and it better be. Getting away from the limitations of exclusively Blackhorn opens this up quite a bit, but it opens you up in a market that demands quality, demands accuracy, and demands near perfect function because of the safety risks to it, as well as the options you have out there for exact known precision with builders that have been doing this for a while. Not that CVA hasn't, but we have to acknowledge that this is their first jump into the smokeless muzzleloader realm. It's not that I don't think that CVA can compete with that, but I think you're in a different weight class, and so there's comparisons to be made there, especially from the smokeless muzzleloader community. Not to mention the irregular bore diameter concerns of the recent Acura and Paramount lines, which have fueled concerns over CVA's exclusive recommendation of power belt projectiles. While I personally think it would be great to have a few different projectile options in a muzzleloader of this class, I do understand why CVA has possibly, this is just personal conjecture here, not dipped their toe into that realm of testing every single muzzleloader projectile that could work with this and providing load data on that. They can test the projectiles that their parent company produces and recommend those. They know that they work in their system, and they can move on from there. I reached out to 2 CVA representatives about what kind of optic they recommended. Both said I could get whatever I wanted. They're not really worried about the pressures and the recoil that this thing puts out affecting the optics. Not being super used to this space, I dove into the modern muzzleloading forum and consulted some long-range shooters that I know in person. Ultimately, I went for the Vortex Diamondback Tactical 6-24 by 50. That's a lot of numbers. With the MOA reticle on here. This does a couple things for us. It gives us the magnification that I think we're looking for, as well as a reticle with enough detail inside that I'm hoping that this is a buy once, cry once optic for this muzzleloader. Now, while CVA did send me the Endura to review, I have purchased this optic with my own money and will be mounting it with my own money. And all of the powder we use in the testing and primers will be purchased with my own money. When it comes to optics, there are of course a ton of different options, but this one fit, I think, my needs based on my research and suggestions that have been given to me, as well as being within the price point I was looking for. There are other options, of course, for an optic, and everybody has their favorite model and brand, but at least on paper, this one seems to fit the needs that I have with this rifle. To further take any variance out of this equation, I'll have this mounted professionally by a local gun shop that I know and trust, just so there aren't any classic I love muzzleloading errors with the attachment of something so crucial. Since we've touched on optic, I want to bring up another point that the Endura is set up for here. In many western states here in the United States, scopes have been retracted from muzzleloader hunting. This is set up for you to attach a globe or a peep sight system to it. So if you're in one of those more restrictive states out there that do not allow an optic to be mounted to your muzzleloader, you can attach an iron sight system. And there are a lot of recommendations out there from Western hunters and Western muzzleloading enthusiasts that should be compatible. Let's take a look here at what else this ships with. Like we see here, no ramrod attached to this muzzleloader, so we've got CVA's ramrod here separate for you. I think this thing might be loved or hated more than most things I've seen in muzzleloading, but they are including this here as a field rod for you. Oh, and this is the carbon fiber model. So this thing folds out like so, like a tent pole. Super light and pretty compact here. The pouch for the collapsible ramrod is set up with MOLLE, and I've seen this get attached to the CVA, also parent company owned, Quake claw slings as a means to store this a little more efficiently. Some guys I've seen will attach it to the buttstock back in here, but I think the sling attachment makes a little more sense to me. So we've got that in there. We've got 2 rods. Got a breech plug wrench here, so this matches our breech plug so that we can go in through the rear of the bolt here. and tighten this if we lower our cheek rest. So we can tighten and loosen this or clean it. In the competitive space, I've seen most guys transition to a ratchet with a long extension on here, and I think that makes a lot of sense. And that was in here as well, in this ramrod pouch. We also have one of CVA's kind of, I hesitate to call it a possibles bag because we're so far removed, but it's kind of a little muzzle loading pouch here. And this is set up, you can put it on a belt. It doesn't have MOLLE, but we have a lot of strap attachment points here. In here we have the SP muzzle brake for the Endura, so we can get that attached. The center column in this packaging is also a funnel, so we've got 2 funnels that come with this here. We've got our Veriflame primer adapter system, so we can set up our Veriflame primers. And then we have a bunch of ramrod jags in this little nylon bag. Here's a magnetic primer holder for us to easily reach into our breech face here, or breech area, and attach our primer. We've got a brass brush for cleaning the bore, as well as 2 different jags here. So we have a conical jag or a bullet jag here that we can attach to our ramrod to load our ELRs. This is coned out in here to better accept that. And then we have a cleaning jag here because this is still a muzzleloader. That being said though, a lot of the smokeless guys that I talk to hardly ever have to clean their muzzleloader. And in my experience with Blackhorn 209, I think can sit for 6-8 months. And I've not seen any appreciable degradation of the bore shooting exclusively Blackhorn. At the time of recording, I'm unable to find IMR 4198 or N120 locally. I'm still hunting for it because I only have about 2.5 jugs of Blackhorn left. And while this may be the kind of thing for us to burn up that Blackhorn with, I'd still like to play with the smokeless end of this. In closing here, talking a little bit about this being smokeless, we always want to make sure we're being safe, and I'd be fibbing a little bit if I didn't say I was a little nervous about the idea of a smokeless muzzleloader. I grew up in the era of smokeless muzzleloaders that weren't used safe, and there were quite a few injuries. So for me, smokeless has always been a thing I've kind of stepped away from. I've visited a couple shoots that people use smokeless with, and the guys that have continued on the smokeless muzzleloaders are really great people and really cool folks. With a little bit of their education at my back here, I'm excited to start playing with this and seeing what it's like to go as far forward in muzzle loading, I guess, technologically as you can get. With this piece is kind of the car I'm driving off that cliff. With that being said, CVA has a set of load data here that we're going to be following pretty strictly. This isn't like blackpowder where I want to go around and mess with it. When I'm using the smokeless here, and even the Blackhorn, I'm going to stick pretty close to CVA's recommendations. And when I say pretty close, I'm going to follow it exactly. So they've got 2 different loads here for each powder they recommend with the Power Belt 285 grain ELR 45 caliber. So load development, I think, is more about dialing in your scope, but we're of course going to start at the beginning and move forward on our own. I've done my best to limit my review exposure of the CVA Endura so that I can present my own opinions and my own findings based on my own practical range experience with the model. As we continue forward with the range testing and review of this muzzleloader, I'll start to accept more outside information. And after we take our at minimum 100 shots with this muzzleloader before we issue our final review, I'll take those other reviews into account and see if there's anything that compares from my experience to other experience out there and do my best to inform you of that. That being said, that's all I've got for you. Thanks for watching kind of my first impressions and first thoughts about the CVA Endura. As of recording, we're in the depths of the middle of winter, so I'm not super excited to get onto the range, but we'll be getting our optic system mounted here and gathering all the supplies. So the first warm day that we can get out with very little wind, we'll be testing this thing out. Once again, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.
I love muzzleloading.